Good evening and welcome back to RPG Limit Break for the second half of our Dragon Warrior Randomizer Tournament Semifinal Doubleheader. We are trying to put this together tonight just like pieces in Tetris. Alongside Z-Man, I'm FearonBurgundy, and we are bringing you the first of the best of three matchup between MisterHomes and Lorgon. Little warm-up for MisterHomes here, as you can see, playing a little bit of Tetris, just to kind of ease the mind, I suppose.
Or infuriate it, depending on, how his RNG goes.
Yeah, you are not wrong about that. But yes, we're getting ready for Dragon Warrior Randomizer. We just had a race a moment ago, a heck of a race that just had a 29-second differential. And we're hoping that this one will be just as close, if not closer. And the object of Dragon Warrior, well, it's for our racers to find and defeat the evil Dragon Lord. They're going to need to collect certain key items to trade in for the Rainbow Sword. They'll also be fighting enemies one at a time to gain experience and levels to get stronger, as well as gold to purchase weapons, armor, and items to help in their quest.
Indeed. I'm not quite sure how we're going to follow up the previous race here, but we're certainly going to try. Holmes and Lorgon here are certainly going to try. We've got two excellent runners here. I mean, well, obviously to make it to the semifinals, these guys are excellent, but these guys, if you were to say before this whole shindig started that MisterHomes and Lorgon would meet in one semifinal, I don't think anybody'd be surprised.
Yeah, I think that's a fairly safe bet. It's not a bad multi-factor to place your shekels on there. Now, this is a randomizer, so we got to have some things shaken around. In this case, the overworld map, as well as the contents of the treasure chest and search to the weapon and armor shop, the enemy locations, the enemy spells and abilities, and the order in which our runners learn their spells, though they're guaranteed to learn all 10 spells by level 16 and return one of the spells to start here, so that means they'll be able to hold on to that key.
Yeah, and, while they'll be able to hold on to the key with the return spell, their starting stats are by no means good. I mean, okay, they've got 15 MP, so they have one use of heal more, congratulations, but their starting strength of 5, their starting agility of 7, that's just not good.
So I was told that Discord is being Discord, and, well, what can I say? It's one of those what can you say, what can you do things here, but we are moments away from getting things started.
Yeah, we are, at this point, I think, just waiting on our wonderful Twitch delay here, and while we have a second, I do want to make a shout-out to our wonderful restreamer and seed roller, Lord of the Synth, and our wonderful tracker, Wicked Gamer Dude. So we appreciate all of your help. Without this cannot be possible.
Yep, there's a lot to the behind-the-scenes production. Working in broadcasting, I certainly know that, and it is greatly appreciated. And we are just about to get underway here with the best of three races here on RPG Limit Break.
Indeed, so we get through King Loric's speech, and then let's see what they have in the treasury here. They are hoping for some gold. All right, what do we have? We got, there we go. There's some gold.
Big bucks right off the bat. And a torch. Ever so slightly different than the previous race. And the obligatory magic key, and they're going to cast return. Get the heck on out of there. Hang on to that key. No towns, at least in the immediate vicinity, but they're going to almost in lockstep make their way back to the key salesman in the back of Tanagel. Going to use a key to get there, though.
Yep, and they're going to fill up on their keys here, and they'll pretty much use most of their remaining gold, and I would imagine immediately go to check the treasury, and then probably head downstairs to see what is in the basement of Tanagel. Maybe they do it in reverse order. Who knows? Let's find out.
Well, Holmes is going to hit the Tanagel treasury first, and Lorgon going to follow suit.
All right, let's see if we have anything good here. If we got a big stick, that completely mitigates the low strength, but we have a fighter's ring. That's a big help. Now, going from 5 to 7 attack power, that's huge. We have gold, so we do have a gold grind possible. We have a silver harp, one of our 3 key items. And we have a cursed belt, gives you more gold if you happen to find a town where you can sell it. And Mr. Homes is NPC locked.
Oh, no. The early mini-boss of the game, the NPC.
Yeah. The wolf asks, cast return to escape. No, can't do. Don't have the MP to cast return twice. Return takes 8 in NP, and they've only got 7 left.
But now look at this, pretty much simultaneously making their way down. And it looks like they're in the northern end of Swamp Cave.
They are in the northern end of Swamp Cave, and they both take back attacks and die.
Well, Magic Wyverns, werewolves, great late-game enemies right in the start.
So it'll be interesting to see. Yep, Lorgon is bailing on that option, and so is Mr. Homes. I would imagine they'll do a little cursory search, see if they can't find a town nearby.
There's a cave to the northeast. A lot of swamp.
I'm a little surprised Lorgon isn't taking on that ghost with 7 attack power and 1 use of the Heal More spell, but we do have Holmes taking on a Drakey, but it gets hurted to death.
Ooh. And 7 attack, I believe you're hitting from 0 to 1. It's still a coin flip. So, not ideal, although a golem is certainly less than ideal as well.
Oh, golem, that's fun. Oh, and Mr. Holmes does find a town immediately to the south of Tangential, and it is the... Oh, look, more keys. I wonder if they need more keys. Interesting.
Well, gonna go right to try to find something better. Oh, and just 12 gold short.
So
nothing, a little trip to the treasury won't hurt.
Right, exactly. You go in, maybe do... I didn't see what else was there. I saw the copper sword. I think there was a hand axe there, too.
There was.
So you head back to the treasury, you pick up a hand axe. Let's see if there's anything here armor-wise that maybe... so hand axe and a set of clothes, then you're off and running.
Yep, just head on out of there with 580.
Yep. And, hopefully, at least this way you don't play naked %, I suppose?
But Holmes gonna head over, purchase more keys, I take it?
Yeah, it looks like. Just kind of replenish his stock.
But now doesn't have enough, get the copper sword?
Yeah, I would imagine he's just going for the copper sword. And as expected, Lorgon picks up the hand axe and the clothes. A little bit of defense never hurts. And Mr. Holmes picks up the copper sword and the clothes. So, both of our heroes are now equipped in some manner. And now we'll probably, I would imagine, get on the grind.
So the only differential, 5 attack power. So that in Lorgon's favor on Holmes' side for the experience point of the game. And Lorgon does take out the Magidrakey.
Okay, let's see what level 1 gives our runners. Oh, fun. 1 power, 5 agility, 5 hit point, 8 NP, and that's about it. Mr. Holmes right behind, getting to level 2.
I wonder, is he going to go back in here and get that hand axe money? I think so.
Yeah, definitely looks like it. So, unfortunately, Mr. Holmes is going to lose a little bit of time here. Let's see if it makes a difference at the end. You never know. It might, but this is a slight time loss. We do have level 3 on Lorgon's side. Ooh.
Oh, goodness.
That's a nice level. Double digit in 3 different categories. So that's a really nice level up. Now you're pretty well two-shotting these Magidrakes religiously, and now gets to level 4 very quickly. 2, 1, 14, and 6. So Lorgon getting up a few levels with relative ease, and Kaisha no Ichigeki takes out yet another Magidrake.
These 12 at a clip certainly helping in the early going here. Lorgon gonna stop off at the inn out of resources here, but that'll give Holmes time to get a little bit of a grind on and can certainly ping pong things back into an even scale here.
Algebrap asking in chat if there's anything better in Rimuldar. There is a magic armor. But, oh, and there's another town right to the south of Rimuldar. Let's see what Lorgon will discover here. Meanwhile, Holmes hits level 3. Oh, and Lord of the Synth does point out there is a flame sword. My bad. So, flame sword and magic armor. And Mr. Holmes is actually going to get into the town first, and it is the town of Cole. Let's see what we have in the search spot.
Well, Holmes going to first look and see, okay, a large shield, so that might be a nice acquisition in a little bit, but let's see if we've got some armor here, a flute, nothing. It's the Erdrick's armor, the best armor in the game.
That's fantastic. Meanwhile, Lorgon getting to level 5 and getting the spell of heal, and he's about to pick up his armor.
Yep, heal and stop spell at level 5.
We do have a flame sword and a large shield here in Cole, but Lorgon decides to upgrade his armor and gets the leather armor, and in a second will upgrade his armor mightily.
That was a little bit of a whoops, but only a slight amount of time lost.
Yeah,
Still anybody's race here. Oh, green dragon.
On both sides, how about that? Lorgon. Oh, yeah. Well, look, green dragons have DL2 breath, so Lorgon's like, nope, I'm gonna die, thanks.
So too is Mr. Holmes.
Alright, so let's see what our runners do here. Lorgon does know the location of what we right now believe to be the grave. And it looks like Mr. Holmes is headed there right now. I wonder if they're going to do a little exploration here in what we believe to be the grave.
Well, Holmes going to go and get a nice one-shot on the Magician there for a little 8 experience. Oh, but there's a Magiwyvern.
Grave absolutely confirmed, and if Lorgon can manage to get these 3 chests, Lorgon will be able to set up a gold grind, and we do know that there is a flame sword readily available to our runners, so that could really increase the amount of damage here that can be done.
Oh, Mr. Holmes falling to a hurt more casting Magiwyvern. Meanwhile, Lorgon trying to chip away at the Wyvern. Put stop spell on it, although stop spell does not ever work when you're wearing Erdrick's armor, so a little bit of a slight miscue, but not going to really do a whole lot of harm.
Yeah, but the experience you're going to get here from this Wyvern is fantastic. So, all right, let's see what we have here in the first 3 chests. We have the Stones of Sunlight. We have more gold. And we have another key. So, Lorgon finding the stones, both of our runners have the harp. We are 2/3 of the way to getting our, well, I guess half. We are 2/4 of the way of getting to our necessary items for the rainbow drop. Lorgon taking an immediate death and will indeed set up a gold grind.
And Holmes having found the 3 items as well. Wonder if he's going to do the same. Well, first going to find a metal slime here. Oh, and his strength is below 20. I don't think they're playing with scare. Well, doesn't matter. There's an excellent move. That is going to vault Mr. Holmes up to level 6, I believe, with the, yeah, look at that. 19 power, 14 speed. Yeah, he got double levels on that there.
That's so looking at the difference here, level 6 is going to be a nice level for Lorgon once he gets there. And we do have Lorgon setting up a gold grind. I would imagine he's just going to get enough to get the flame sword and probably a large shield, and then he'll call it good. I don't think he's going to go all the way up to silver shield money. I wouldn't think. Nope.
Oh, Mr. Holmes getting another metal slime, but this one kicks out at 2.
And we have Lorgon popping into Rumbledar. We'll definitely pick up that flame sword with all the haste possible.
Meanwhile, Mr. Holmes is diving the grave in the dark.
Lorgon is now going to be able to really efficiently kill a lot of these lower and mid-tier enemies, and with the Heal More spell, depending on what he gets, might be able to take out some higher tier things. And we have Lorgon getting his wonderful level 6 level. Mr. Holmes having to lose a torch, getting a little turned around here in the grave, finding the 4th chest to be an herb.
Well, healing is important.
Lorgon picking up the small shield. What did I miss on home side?
Just a golem back attacking, but he was able to get away.
Just take a sack of bricks to the back of the head. No big deal. Lorgon gonna take out this wolf. Any snail. This is indeed best of 3. This is game number 1. Green Dragon sending Lorgon back to start. We have Mr. Holmes picking up level 7 with 2 power, 1 agility, 6 hit points, 2 magic points, and a spell. We have the spell of Sleep. And Radiant, it looks like.
Radiantly delivered in stereo.
To answer Weasel's question in chat, is game number 2 going to be tonight? Nope, game number 2 is tomorrow night.
And Mr. Holmes has gone all the way through Garinham's Grave, and the deep item is the Fairy Water, which works just like the Repel spell. It will ward off overworld battles with enemies that are weaker than you.
Lorgon taking out a Wraith, and I do believe we have Mr. Holmes taking a death here at the bottom of the grave. And will probably set up his own gold grind for a flame shield and a large sword. It looks like Lorgon is not going to go, well, not going to go anywhere. He's going to go immediately back to go, not collect $200. But it'll be interesting to see if Lorgon decides to go back into the grave to check out the bottom 2 chests. My guess is going to be probably not.
So we had some question regarding this particular series. This is a best 2 out of 3. This is game 1. Game 2 will actually be just a little under 23 hours from now. It'll be tomorrow night at 9 o'clock Eastern.
Lorgon finding the town of Garinham. So we have 3 towns relatively close to the castle. That's actually a really nice thing. And you can pick up from here from Garinham. You're going to pick up some herbs. You're going to pick up a dragon scale. The only thing that'll be slightly annoying is if there is a silver shield here, and you could have ground up for a silver shield initially. I mean, that would be slightly annoying, but not terrible.
So Mr. Holmes picking up the flame sword, now going to head into Cole, pick up that large shield for an additional 10 defense.
Looks like we have Lorgon stocking up on herbs and torches. So Mr. Holmes finding another town, looks like south of Tantagel Castle, I do believe. Meanwhile, we have Lorgon going into the back of Garinham.
So we have a torch, we've got a set of wings, we've got Mr. Holmes in the tablet cave. So that's an access to a free chest, and we've got some big bucks in Garinham. We'll see what's in the back in a matter of moments here.
We have the bonus cave, the Vanilla Stones of Sunlight cave, and we have a dragon scale. Hey, look, you just bought one of them.
Wow, so just like that, the only treasure chests yet to be opened in the overworld here are all 5 in the mountain cave.
Yep, and the locations we have yet to discover, well, we don't know where Swamp South is. We don't know where the mountain cave is. We also don't know the location of the Jerk. We don't know the location of the Shrine Cave. We don't know the location of Charlock, Hawksness, or Campman. Or Breckenary, but who cares?
So Mr. Holmes with the now 70 attack power gonna work on this wizard here. And the tablet cave, to answer the question, was an herb.
And while Holmes is chipping away at a wizard, we do have Lorgon chipping away at a Magiwyvern.
Ooh, that has heal and hurt more.
That's kind of ugly, but one cast of the stop spell will negate both of those. Holmes taking out the wizard, and of course RNG is on Lorgon's side and will critical the Magiwyvern on his last hit. Lorgon reaching level 7. We'll pick up his sleep and radiant spells. So now we're
Back
just
of
searching for things.
Tantagel's northern end of the swamp cave.
Yeah, at some point I would think our runners are going to go back to that. Oh, we have the first appearance of the Fun Police, the Red Dragon on Mr. Holmes' side, and the Red Dragon is going to send Mr. Holmes back to start.
You can see, despite that early metal slime, the experience differential just 30 experience right now.
Lorgon making his way kind of down and over to where we know the tablet cave to be. Meanwhile, Mr. Holmes finding the town of Garinham.
Perhaps just taking a glance, looking to see if a silver shield is there.
Yep, because this would certainly be in a place where once you find the mountain cave, you can probably set up a gold grind and get to this particular location relatively easily. But you know, as they get further and further from the castle, the appeal of carrying all that gold kind of sort of goes away. Lorgon taking out yet another Magiwyvern, and we'll get to level 8 with this takedown. What do we have here? We have 5 power, no agility, 6 hit points, and no MP. Empty Eye loves it.
A true empty eye level. 0 agility, 0 MP. I love it. Well, that's what he would say. I don't love it. I loathe it.
Hey, every little bit of strength counts because that's less strength than you have to grind up at the end. So, 5 strength is just fine.
Absolutely.
And Mr. Holmes about to find his wonderful level of 5 power and 6 HP. Yay!
I don't know. If we do have a new catchphrase, sure. I don't know.
Hey, now you already have a catchphrase. You can't have more than one.
Which catchphrase do I... Oh, wow. Those are some interesting bridges there.
You have your ending catchphrase.
Well... That's a sign-off line. That's a little... I don't know.
Red Dragon sending Lorgon back to start.
Which is basically the Red Dragon's catchphrase.
My other Nick in chat scolding me for picking on the commentator pulling the second part of a back-to-back.
No, this is just this is what we do. This is, I mean, we're good friends. If there wasn't some semblance of stone busting, and not necessarily stones with sunlight, but stone busting, it wouldn't be a proper Burgundy Z-Man commentary.
Indeed, we are the Keystone Connection, after all.
Indeed we are. But enough putting ourselves over. Back.
Looks like Lorgon got taken out by an Axe Knight, and now we'll finally find out what's on the other side of the Swamp Cave. Maybe. Let's see if the enemies play nice.
Enemies play nice? I don't know.
Rayless in chat saying strength agility build is love, strength agility build is life. Frankly, after this tournament, I'm shocked anybody still uses an agility build. Because I'm pretty sure if there's one thing that this tournament has proven, agility is nothing but a number.
Well, those who use the strength agility build, they just want it to be a higher number.
We have Mr. Holmes taking on a fire-breathing dragon. And we do have Lorgon at the other end of the Swamp Cave. Let's see what we have here.
Well, Holmes is going after it here and takes out the green dragon for a big 135. So now the experience differential, well, was 100, now down to 80.
So it looks like Lorgon is finding the top side of the map here.
And Holmes finding death to a green dragon. A little bit of vengeance.
But not by fire. Let's see if there's anything off to the west here of the Swamp Cave opening, but this is starting to look a bit like a bit of a bust second continent here, if it is a second continent. Or maybe it just expands as you go to the west. We shall see. And we have Holmes finding the town of Hawksnest that appeared to be, I think, north and west of the town we know to be Cole.
So Mr. Holmes working on a Wraith Knight here might try to get the level perhaps before facing whatever is there. And looks to be doing just that.
Alright, let's see what we have here on the other side of the Swamp Cave. We have the Jerk. Oh, no, I'm sorry, that's the Shrine Cave. Oh my god. Yeah, that is the Shrine Cave, and so it does look like that the trek through the swamp cave will actually be quite useful. You will get the Staff of Rain going through there.
All right, here is a skeleton that Mr. Holmes one-shots, and that's going to be level 9. Let's see here. 0 power, 1 speed, 2 hit points, 6 magic points. That was a bit of a swing and a miss level, but we've got an Axe Knight.
Yeah, that's fantastic news for our runners. That Axe Knights are here. That makes for an easy grind. Of course, bad news is it's really hard to kill an Axe Knight right now.
Well, they have heal more. So, I mean, there's that.
Nothing like some Dragon Lord 2 strats on an Axe Knight.
Yeah, I mean, you're hitting 8 to 17. Just got to last 6 rounds on average with it. And there's the Fairy Flute in the Hawksness spot.
Mr. Holmes is going to pick up the Tootie Flute. And now we'll... not going to do any more grinding. So we know that Erdrick's token is either going to be in the Mountain Cave or it is going to be on the Overworld Coordinate spot.
And we know not which, as we've only found 1 cursed belt so far. So if the item is in a chest, then it'll replace one of the 2 cursed belts. So if you see 2 cursed belts, you know that all 3 of the search spots are in play. And Holmes throwing a stop spell on a golem, but gets meleeed for 46.
Ow.
Which, looking at the numbers here, that was a max roll.
RNG says hi.
Yeah, that was, yeah. Range of 23 to 46. Holmes had 45 hit points. Decided to gamble, and...
And, well, got hit in the head with a ton of bricks.
Exactly. As far as the odds of that particular gamble, like Maxwell Smart 50 years ago, he missed it by that much.
That is such a classic voice.
It is. Gotta love some Don Adams.
I knew his first name was Don. I always forget his last name. Lorgon picking up level 9.
Now gonna try it again here.
Gonna try to take out a golem using with I would imagine quite the use of the magical fairy flute. Ooh, and it looks like this continent is a bust other than the
Staff
of Rain Cave. Yeah.
Alright, so Holmes gonna put the golem back to sleep. And continue to chip away at it here. Only has to go 10 rounds on average with it. Must be fairly close, is not bothering to use the flute again here. Oh, and there's the heal being busted out. Oh, but there's an attack. Must figure it's the last one and does it, taking out the golem for a max 255. And just like that is 78 experience away from level 10.
So if Lorgon continues on this particular path, I do believe he will run into Hawksness With a turn to the west and a turn to the north, we'll run into Hawksness, I believe.
They're both heading in the same direction. Well, actually, Lorgon just a couple of tiles to the west off screen. Holmes finding another town over here, and it's Cantlin.
So very shortly, we are going to see where the token is. Will the token be on the overworld coordinates, or will the token be in the mountain cave? If the old man here in Cantlin says, "Thou must go and fight," it is in the mountain cave. If the old man gives coordinates, we know that's where the token is going to be.
And Holmes sprucing up on some keys in the inventory and perhaps doing a little bit of a... to see maybe if there's a silver shield here, might consider that for later.
So it looks like the only place now that could possibly have a silver shield would be Breckenary, if they even find it, if they even care.
Well, here we do have a search. 38 south and 80. Ugh.
Oh, yeah. Good luck with that.
Well, it also means that we know that the Erdrick's token is on that overworld search spot. So if they find the mountain cave, they're looking and hunting and hoping for a sword.
Meanwhile, a red dragon sends Lorgon back to split start. I did not see if Lorgon picked up the fairy flute out of Hawksness.
Mr. Holmes is going to try to count this thing.
Man, if he can get this count, that is just... that's on a completely other level, if you ask me, because this is just not a fun prospect.
Well, he is, he's making his way west here. He's counting, getting some numbers here. I mean, it seems to be going pretty decent line from here. And oh, look, there's Charlock, the big C.
So by doing this count, he has found Charlock Castle.
Now, can he get around this body of water is the question. Oh, he cannot.
Well, not directly.
Oh, there's another cave kind of tucked away across the bridge there.
So that's either going to
sleep.
So that's either going to be the mountain cave or the jerk. Sneaky asks if the dig spot is on the second continent. I don't think it's on the second continent because the coordinates are south of the castle, and I do believe the second continent takes you to the north end of the map.
So it's a matter of how much roaming you have to do on this landmass here to get to where you need to be. Well, there is an opening. I mean, if that goes all the way up... Goodness. Okay,
And
that's the Rainbow Drop Cave.
there's the Rainbow Drop Cave tucked away in a nice little corner just north of Charlock.
Oh.
And yeah, Mr. Home is like, yeah, nope, not counting this. Give me the GPS. Eliger No, there is no Silver Shield in Cantlin. The only place a Silver Shield can be now would be in the town of Breckenary. And we haven't found Breckenary.
much to your delight. Oh, for those of you just joining us here, welcome to RPG Limit Break. This is game 1 of a best-of-3 semi-final matchup between MisterHomes and Lorgon. Alongside Z-Man, I'm FearonBurgundy. We're bringing you the action here so far. Well, our runners have found 2 of the 3 major items, the Silver Harp and the Stones of Sunlight. They've found everything except for the Mountain Cave, and Erdrick's sword is still at large. Erdrick's token, we know, is in the coordinate spot. Erdrick's armor was in coal, which was not too far from the start. And the fairy flute was guarded in Hawksness by an Axe Knight, so that'll make for a great grind later, especially when Hurtmore is acquired.
Oh, wow. 18 power and 22 MP at level 10. That's a nice level.
There's some strength.
But I do want to bring everybody's attention to the agility value at level 10. Yes, agility is just a number, we know, but it does actually have a tangible effect on defense. And, a low agility plus a large shield means that, well, Dragon Lord 2 is going to scratch you for quite the damage if it gets to that point. Lorgon getting the bad news of the coordinates.
Well, I'm sure when it comes to coordinates, Lorgon doesn't think that there's really any that are insurmountable.
MisterHomes taking a toot on the flute to put the golem back to sleep, and we'll be taking on another, tooting the flute yet again.
Going with the Little Richard strats. Tooty Fluty Oh Rudy.
Oh god, now you got that song in my head.
A wop bob a luop a lop bam boom indeed.
Lorgon getting the very nice level 9. 10. Line 10. Same level.
And a nice crit from MisterHomes, and that's another 255.
So I wonder if MisterHomes thinks that he had the coordinates counted effectively, but now is just looking for a way to get west of Charlock? Because he didn't exactly go for the princess.
Well, knowing MisterHomes, if it's a coordinate, he would rather count it. I think he figures that the princess is if there's an absolute last resort.
And it looks like last resort is going to come into play here, and I do believe we have Lorgon finding the mountain cave. Bobski asking what's guarding the princess? I don't know. I haven't seen it yet.
Yep. At this point, when you know, we'll know. Although Holmes is navigating in the dark, so it's more of when we're kind of sure, you'll be kind of sure too. But this indeed is the mountain cave for Lorgon, so 5 treasure chests to be found. He is hoping that Erdrick's sword is among them.
Now, if I'm mentally mapping correctly, I believe that this mountain cave is going to be on the way to the coordinates. And MisterHomes just walks right through the mountain cave and doesn't even look at the princess spot. Okay.
Well, would you believe we'll find out later?
Maybe? Alright, still nothing of note so far in this mountain cave here. So we're getting down to the last chest here, so if this isn't Erdrick's sword, we know that that's going to be in the castle, or, maybe the death necklace is in the castle right beside it. Who knows?
Well, Lorgon running out of possibilities here as far as Erdrick's sword, but here is level 11 for Lorgon with a big 14 power, 14 speed, 0 hit points, and I believe that was 8 MP.
So strength and MP are definitely getting very nice. The gains are really nice. HP? Well, that's becoming a concern.
67 at level 11 is less than ideal.
And still no hurt more.
Our restreamer doing just dive on 88 hit points. Why not? It worked for Jay Coper. Ooh, death necklace.
Yeah, picking up the death necklace, which will probably be basically just a thing in your item bag in this particular seed. But that means that we do indeed, in fact, have the Erdrick sword in Charlock Castle. However, I do want to kind of sort of point this out. These strength gains are coming at such a rate that if they keep coming at this particular rate, might we see a Flamesword Dragonlord kill?
You might. I mean, it's not like it's that far off to check the 6 chests in the Charlock Treasury. I mean, if Erdrick's sword is in vanilla at the old judges table, as it's known, then I think that the odds go significantly higher that we have a Flamesword Dragonlord kill.
So MisterHomes closing in on the only useful thing of this second continent here, the Shrine Cave, where you exchange the Silver Harp for the Staff of Rain.
So there is the cave.
Lorgon makes his way out of the mountain cave, and I believe will now make his way back behind Charlock and will stumble into Burgundy. Let's see, does this particular town have a silver shield? It does.
So there's at least an ever slight usefulness for Breckenary?
I do believe that this is probably the only time Lorgon sets foot in Breckenary.
Probably. I don't think you're wrong about that.
Alright, so let's see. Is Lorgon going to go get the coordinates, or is he going to attempt a count? Given that he is going down into the bottom here, I am guessing that he's going for a princess.
And Holmes, meanwhile, finding a dead end here. Oh, and it's a golem guarding the princess.
So this could be an interesting decision now that may enter into things, depending on how high our runner's attack actually get. Golem, certainly susceptible to Stop Spell, certainly susceptible to the Fairy Flute. Might you think about grinding on golems instead of Axe Knights? Because here's Lorgon getting level 12, no strength, 2 agility, 8 hit points, 3 magic points, and whoa boy, we got the big gun. We got the Spell of Hurtmore.
Well, I mean, with that high of MP and Hurtmore and an Axe Knight, yeah, I think I think now you go for the Axe Knight grind in Hawksness.
Yeah, right now, absolutely.
And that'll be something that Mr. Holmes will be glad to see in 247 experience.
Be interesting to see if Lorgon goes for a kill here, or will just run. Just goes for the run, and we'll head upstairs to return said princess. Little surprised Lorgon is taking the long way around as opposed to just exiting and re-entering.
Well, you know, he wants to parade her around the castle, kind of show off, hey, look at what I rescued.
Chat making light of the fact that the princess was in the basement of the castle.
Holmes, meanwhile, taking a death to the golem, and now is going to head on back here.
Alright, so it looks like Lorgon is starting on his quest to try to figure out where the heck this token is. Now, that said, Lorgon also has not yet seen the Jerk Cave to actually pick up said rainbow drop once he gets the token, but I do believe that he pretty much have to stumble upon it on his search for this particular item.
Well, unless Lorgon goes kind of up and around the path that Holmes had taken to the south and west. But it's hard to say.
Man, that golem is sleeping pretty damn light for Mr. Holmes.
What a time for that flute to be defective.
Just hit it a few times. Blowing it. Blowing in it always does good things.
That's what helps make it function properly.
That's what... Never mind. Alright, so...
So, Mr. Holmes acquiring Princess Gwaelin, Lorgon just crossing the bridge, and we'll at least see the Rainbow Drop Cave. Won't be able to acquire it as of yet.
But we'll confirm it is the Rainbow Drop Cave.
And looks to Cairn.
Interesting return spot? So the question right now, the question is very much, where the holy heck are these coordinates for this friggin' token?
And that's putting it nicely.
Mr. Holmes picking up the princess and will now let the princess breathe in some fresh air and be like, nope, you're going back to the throne room. Get your butt over here.
But Christo.
Don't care. Back to the throne room.
Probably wondering why she couldn't be a tomboyish princess like Alina.
So Lorgon is again setting out once more unto the breach to try to attempt to find these coordinates. And looks like he's going to try a red dragon. But if you all notice, we are 53 minutes into this seed, and our experience gap is basically non-existent. I mean, we have Lorgon with 3584. We have Mr. Holmes now with 3386. It's a 200. All right, fine. Now a 500 point, experience difference.
Okay, and the second continent confirming what we knew, that is actually to the north of Tantagel Castle.
And we want to thank to Space Pope for their 13th month of a subscription. Thank you very much. We really appreciate it. Okay, Lorgon passing by what we know to be Cantlin. And now, at some point soon, I would imagine we're going to get a coordinate check. Alright, let's see where we are here. Well, still gotta go west. And then a little north.
Oh, so it's beyond the mountain cave, which Mr. Holmes has not yet seen. So you wonder if he's going to detour once he goes that way.
Alright, let's see where we're at, and one more west and about 9 to the north.
Oh, so it's right over by Breckenary.
Yeah, can't take swamp. You have to search the swamp.
And there is the token.
And Lorgon's just like, nope, I'm going to cast a spell of return, and I am going to approach Charlock Castle this way. Because Charlock Castle, well, because the Jerk Cave is in the shadow of Charlock Castle.
So apart from this last errand, yeah, Lorgon is basically in grind and go mode.
Now, I guess it would be quasi-go mode, because chances are you still want that Erdrick sword, so you're going to have to pick that up, so. but you can certainly grind without it, given that the likely grind spot is going to be Brecconary, and you're just going to toss Hurtmore after Hurtmore after Hurtmore against the Axe Knight in Hawksness.
For a minute, I thought you were just saying you should cast Hurtmore and Hurtmore and Hurtmore against Brecconary because it's a useless town.
I don't hate the town that much. MisterHomes, meanwhile, taking an overworld death to a red dragon. Eligibrap pointing out in chat, no, you cast Hurtmore on Melmond. You destroy Melmond. You don't destroy Brecconary.
Tilo noting, apparently you want Brecconary to become Actempto from Dragon Warrior 4.
Zarnax pointing out in chat that, at least the Actempto music is fantastic. I mean, he's right about that.
I like all that Chapter 4 music.
I just like Dragon Warrior 4 music, period.
You're right about that. Ooh, big gain at level 13 on the MP, it looks like I thought I saw.
That's a 20 MP gain. So MP is definitely not going to be an issue in this particular seed. And MisterHomes is going back through the swamp cave. I think he's a bit perplexed as to where to go to get his coordinates. Amazing Toaster asking in chat, how go the shenanigans? Well, the shenanigans actually go pretty darn well. If you have not seen nor heard about the first race of the night, then I highly recommend you go watch the VOD. But right now, the shenanigans are going much better for Lorgon than they are for MisterHomes. MisterHomes has gotten himself all sorts of confuzzled about where the coordinates are for the token, and Lorgon is just throwing down his Rainbow Bridge.
So there's a golem takeout on Holmes' side, and Lorgon going to follow suit here in Charlock.
So I'm betting this is a sword dive for Lorgon. He's probably going to earn up enough XP as he goes, but this has got to be a sword dive here for Lorgon. And a recon mission, I would imagine. This is recon and sword dive.
So now Holmes heading over here to the west, past Hawksness.
Tilo also reminding us that Lorgon did not check the bottom of the grave, so better to get a Charlock dive out of the way ASAP so you know if it's down here or if it's in the grave. Of course, we know it's in here somewhere.
Okay, and Lorgon taking the death here. Interesting.
All right, so I believe MisterHomes has to go south a lot closer to Tantagel Castle. I believe he kind of has to go south of the town of Cole and then jog to the west.
Oh, so we were talking earlier about going up and around, but apparently you have to go down and around. Oh.
This is a down and around. Or this is Cantlin, I think. My bad. So I do believe he has to buzz by Cantlin in order to get there, I think.
Yeah, this is the path.
There's the mountain cave, and I would imagine Holmes is gonna explore the mountain cave because this is 5 chests that he's gonna check.
Oh, no.
So while Mr. Holmes is going to check out the mountain cave here and, pick up his wonderful, absolutely applicable death necklace, Lorgon is going to start to build an experience point lead.
Which Holmes was keeping pace, and I mean for the moment still is, but this is about to jump as far as a lead here.
And the other thing that's going to kind of sort of slow Mr. Holmes down right in this particular circumstance is he doesn't have the outside spell, so he has to walk out of this cave once he is utterly disappointed with what he gains. Lord of the Synth and our chatters pointing out the next 3 experience point benchmarks. We're looking at 5625, 7500, and the 9750. Lorgon casting the spell of Healmore just to be safe.
Just in case that 6% defense of it occurs.
Our wonderful tracker, Wicked Gamer Dude, has brought up the stats of the Axe Knight for this particular seed, and it does nothing but fight, 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 fight.
Which, given the low agility and defense, they can still pack a pretty good punch at this point.
Alright, let's see what we have here at level 14. We have 4 power, 0 agility, 8 hit points, 0 MP. I feel like we've seen that movie before.
You mean it isn't a sequel?
Well, the sequel's always worse than the original. In this case, it was 4 HP, not 5. So, yeah, it's a sequel.
Zero Agi MP2, the quest for more money. Or am I confusing that with Spaceballs 2?
There was a Spaceballs 2?
No, they just joked about it in the original Spaceballs.
Ah. I was going to say, if there was a Spaceballs 2, then I have put that so far out of my memory. Wally Renfield in chat asking that the big stick has 10 more AP than the flame sword. No, it has 12. 12 more attack power. The flame sword is plus 28. The Erdrick sword is plus 40.
And just like that, the experience lead has jumped up to about 1,000. Now, I wonder here if Holmes is just going to start on the grind now and where... go there and trade that in when going for game.
I mean, that would make the most sense at this point. Just, head to Hawksness, do your grind, and then just, hope and pray you can make one trip down Charlock. Lorgon, completely out of resources, is just going to take a death to the X-Knight and walk back to Hawksness. It's not that far of a walk.
And that will give Holmes a chance to catch up a little bit here, trailing by roughly 1,300 experience. Well, there's a red dragon for 255, and that gets level 14. And a good amount of disappointment.
Yeah, but as Zarnax kind of points out in chat here, a dive to get the sword right now doesn't make a real ton of sense, because if you look at their look at Lorgon or Mr. Holmes's defense power, it is critically low. They are not defense breaking any of the Charlock enemies, so you're going to be taking full damage on the way down. So, and without the spell of outside right now, I think grinding until you can hopefully make one Charlock dive makes the most sense.
This is interesting schools of thought here. So Holmes, at least for the moment, was going with attack strats. Now is going to go with the hurt more. Here we go. And it misses.
Because that's what it does. Alright, let's see what level 15 here has for Lorgon. No. Attack power.
Wow.
Oh, wow. 23 HP. Oh, is this go time? Alright, so with the... Alright, that's math now. Alright, so with Erdrick's sword, your attack power is 128. Right? 128 means you do 28 divided by 2, which is 14. Divide that by, again, that's 7. So you are 7 to 14, an average of 10, which means you need 15 to 16 hits, give or take. How many heal mores do you have? You have...
15. 15 heal mores on 16 swings.
Oh, boy.
If you can't burn anything, it's tight.
And given 109 HP, you're not guaranteed to get that many doubles, especially with this low defense power. And given the low agility in Charlock, you're not going to be running from much. Well, not much easily. I think you gotta go to 16.
It's hard to say. I mean, knowing Lorgon, I think Lorgon tends to play a little bit safer, so may go either... I'm thinking may go kind of halfway here, use up the resources, and then make the run. Because with 126 MP, figure, alright, I get another level with a bunch of strength here at 16, I'm good to go. Whereas, I mean, the only way that could be bad is if there was a huge MP gain. But it looks like Holmes, I think, might be going for it here.
Yeah, I think Holmes is going for it. So this is going to be very interesting. Now, it's not going to take Lorgon very long to get to level 16. I mean, you're looking for 9750 experience, so what is that? Another 5 or... No, it's more than that. It's like 7 or 8 Axe Knights. So, yeah, he might use up his resources here, like you kind of mentioned. Use up his resources here, take a death, and then just get the remaining part of his level on the way down.
Yeah, at the moment, Lorgon needs 6, now 5 more Axe Knights.
I mean, really, this dive is for Mr. Holmes. It's going to come down to how many heal mores does he have to use on the way down, because he needs... I mean, I don't know percentages, but... I mean, if he gets to the Dragon Lord with full resources, he is most probably a favorite. If he loses 1 or 2... I mean, if he loses 2, I can't imagine he's a favorite. 1, I think he's probably 50-50. So this is interesting.
So to answer the question in chat, yes, there was a rather large HP gain at level 15. It was 20-something. It wasn't 30, though, but it was still quite a bit.
And here comes the Death to the Axe Knight, with Lorgon being roughly 100 experience away from level 16. He's going to get this as he goes. So, Jerry Gamer asking in chat, how much damage can BL2 do with a physical attack? A max of 52. So, if you get a max roll, it ain't going to hurt.
Oh, Mr. Holmes has acquired the rainbow drop.
Now, it looks like Lorgon's going to get his level 16 right here. Let's see what we get at level 16. 4 power, 7 hit points, 3 MP, and the Spell of Outside. So this is... it's more comfortable now. It's not great, but it's better.
Yeah, we've gone from a 2... Well.
Right, so if we do the math now at 132 attack power, 132 attack power means you're doing 8 to 16 damage, an average of 12. That's on average 14 attacks. You've got
16 heal mores now.
It's free. It's as you can even use a couple of heal mores. So Lorgon's gotta go.
Although, wait a minute. Chat noting here, Lorgon...
Alright, there's one heal more use on Mr. Holmes not being able to get away from this red dragon.
And now just fighting through.
Alright, Mr. Holmes used his 1. So anything more than this now, and Mr. Holmes is really in... could really be in trouble, unless he doesn't plan on going after the Dragon Lord on this dive, unless this is a sword-specific dive. Okay, he's casting another heal more real quick and fighting these red dragons. He's not going for gain here. He's going for the sword.
This is, as you said earlier, a sword and recon dive.
Yeah, this has got to be what this is.
And a little grind on the way to possibly get 16. See what's doing.
Although Mr. Holmes is showing that this level 17 grind may not be the worst idea, because red dragons do inhabit, you know, Charlock at a pretty good rate here. I mean, you know, Lorgon is knocking on the door of level 17, which I believe is 12,000 experience even.
That is correct.
So we have Holmes making his way through Charlock Castle.
Okay, so this must be what, basement 3?
I think so. Well, regardless of which basement it is, we do have red dragons in the first 2 zones of Charlock. So this could very well be a resource-heavy dive with this particular agility. So I actually, the more I'm seeing of this Charlock, the more I'm agreeing with this grind to 17. He's going to need more MP than he has currently, I think.
All right. Holmes using the Radiant. Meanwhile, here's level 17. Let's see what we got.
12 more power. That's big. Boy, you can almost take it out with the flame sword now.
Taking a moment to do the calculations. Perhaps using the resources to Death Warp. That's my guess.
That's got to be what this is. We have Holmes taking on an Armored Knight. And we'll very shortly get to level 16. Now, I don't think we've seen any red dragons in this 3rd encounter zone, but we have seen Armored Knights. Alright, let's see. Where is Erdrick's sword? It is not in the 150 chest. It is not in the 100 chest. It's not in the 50 chest. There it is. It is in the $200 chest.
We got the cursed belt and a torch.
Oh, look. Now you have the cursed belt. Thanks, game. And with this defeat of the green dragon, Mr. Holmes will get to level 16.
So was he oh, he was looking to get outside at 16.
Alright, so if Lorgon decides to dive here, this is absolutely game on. But he's headed back to Hawksness. It looks like he's going to go for level 18. Now, we know Lorgon plays conservatively. He's even admitted he plays conservatively. But this just... I don't
think he likes that defense.
That's got to be what's spooking him, is he had to have seen red dragons on the top floor of Charlock, and the defense of 76 and the agility of 72 has to be spooking him. That's the only thing I can think of. Spofford is saying that he is a game up. Nope, this is game 1 of this particular series. Mr. Holmes and Lorgon, this is game 1.
Yeah, I think maybe he meant a level up.
Maybe.
Like have it being at level 16 instead of, or 17 instead of 16.
Killy Papa asks, what is the experience needed for 18? It is 14,500. So he's only a few Axe Knights away. but he's got to go heal himself and then make the trek back. I don't know. But we'll see. Maybe this pays off in the long run. You know, maybe Mr. Holmes gets terrible RNG on the way down to Charlock and has to burn more heal mores than he comfortably can get through. We'll see. Maybe level 18 is a complete and total game changer. Who knows?
Just for a point of clarification, it's 14,250 for level 18, 16,500 for 19.
I always get those two confused. I always want to say 14,500 and 16,250. I always get them confused. Thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah, you just want to bunch them together. That's what it is.
All right, there goes the first heal more on Mr. Holmes' side. So the red dragons are doing their part to hold up Holmes. All right, let's see what level 18 brings. Level 18 brings 5 power, 5 agility, 14 hit points, 3 MP. You gotta go now.
You would think.
Okay, he is. He's going now. I would imagine he's going to heal up in Cantlin and then head up to Charlock. But Mr. Holmes not seeing too many red dragons on this particular dive. If he can get down there with this amount of MP, I mean, as long as he doesn't get absolutely screwed with low rolls, he is certainly a favorite to win this fight. If he can get down there. We'll see.
That is the big if. And there is a red dragon. He's just going to punch his way through.
He 3 hits the red dragon. Doesn't even have to burn a heal more, just burns an herb.
Yep, do a little walking and run into another one.
And another 3 hit of the red dragon. Probably just going to burn another herb. Yep. So again, if Mr. Holmes does... I mean, at this rate, he might actually get 17 on the way down. But if Mr. Holmes does reach the Dragon Lord at this particular level, he will be doing 8 to 16 damage for an average of 12. We'll need 13 to 14 attacks, depending. Well, 14 to 15? No, 13 to
14 on average.
Yeah, 13 or 14 attacks. And right now, once he menus again, we'll see, or right now we'll see his MP. MP of 113. He's got, what, 10, 12?
14 heal mores.
14 heal mores, so he has exactly what he needs.
With a little bit of wiggle room for doubles, so the opening double and the last attack.
Yep. So he is certainly a favorite here. Meanwhile, Lorgon using his first heal more of the dive. Lorgon getting off of basement 1 into basement 2. Mr. Holmes fighting his way through Armored Knights. Oh, Armored Knight dodges the first attack.
Oh, no.
And there goes another heal more, so now we're down to...
13.
13. Alright, he should still be in okay shape with 13 heal mores, but if he has to use another one, then we start getting a little dicey. And we still have not yet seen the boss here in Charlock, although Mr. Home's getting a really nice healing hero run here, so that's going to help.
Yep, that got him back up to maximum.
Lorgon using another heal more, but heal mores aren't an issue for Lorgon. And we have a red dragon here in the boss spot. 3 shots the red dragon, I would imagine. Yep, we'll see him use an herb here. Another herb. And here we go. Hold B.
Decline the offer to share half the world. Because if you accept the offer, the game soft locks and you have to reset to your last save point. He did cancel out of the herb. Now he uses it.
Meanwhile, we do have Lorgon on the basement here, but does skip Erdrick's sword. He's going straight to the Dragon Lord.
Oh, and a back attack. There's 15 to start. That's a near max roll. The Dragon Lord can have anywhere from 150 to 165. Alright, high roll so far, 28.
I'll let you count Holmes. I'll take Lorgon.
Alright, 38 here for Holmes. $48 now. Lorgon put on the death necklace.
Okay, and Lorgon is entering the Dragon Lord 2 fight.
$76 now on Holmes' side.
Lorgon does not get a back attack and opens with a 22.
86 now.
44.
Lorgon might pass him here. 99.
58.
109.
Ooh, gets a low roll heal more and's got a double heal more.
124 now for Holmes.
73.
138.
91.
149 for Holmes.
102.
163 and Holmes is going to do it.
$124. 138. Next attack could do it.
And meanwhile, get out your GGs. Mr. Holmes is going to take game 1 of this best of 3 series with an official SRL time of 90 minutes and 22 seconds.
Meanwhile, Lorgon also completes the Dragon Lord 2 fight, and as our tracker shows, the Dragon Lord had 158 HP. And Lorgon is going to finish this seed with an official time of 1:31:01. So that is a 39-second difference.
Oh my goodness. So we had one race that finished, 29 seconds apart, the other finishing 39 seconds apart.
Boy, a couple of really good races.
Man, if I'm going to keep calling these, they're going to want me to call every race.
Holy cow. Man, Lorgon really came on at the end there. I mean, he almost overtook Holmes at the end. I mean, that extra agility that Lorgon had really gave him an advantage. He got through Charlock Castle much, much more quickly than Holmes did.
Okay, and I'm seeing here in the IRC chat, Lorgon has declined an interview, but we will be hearing from Mr. Holmes in a matter of moments here. And Holmes putting the comment for the race in IRC, I'm seeing red. I'm sure referencing all of the red dragons that were in there, and probably the knights with the red suits of armor as well.
So while we are waiting for Mr. Holmes to join us, make sure you guys, everybody, are back here tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time here on RPG Limit Break. We will have Mr. Holmes versus Lorgon Game 2. But with that, we are joined by Mr. Holmes in chat. Mr. Holmes, well done. Congratulations.
Well, I'd like to describe my gameplay that seed as medium, because it was neither rare nor was it well done. But yes, I am so glad that I do not have to continue playing that seed right now.
Yeah, so really, for you, the really, I think the sticking point for you was finding the way to the coordinates, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that is, when mapping gets me, it really, really gets me. And it was kind of a situation where I thought I had explored all of the first continent, I'll be honest. And then I went to the second continent, and I thought I had explored all of it. And then I got Gwaelin's Love because I was still struggling, and I was like, okay, use Gwaelin's Love. I look at the coordinates. I'm like, it's not on the second continent. I could tell based on the numbers. So then I kind of started to panic. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, where do I go? This is the only thing I need to do. And once I do everything, I'm getting Axe Knights over and over. And because I'm not leveled up, I'm losing so much time. So it's very easy for panic to set in that particular scenario. And having this low HP and all these stupid golems and green dragons popping up everywhere just kind of compounded the problem. And eventually I was able to kind of talk myself down and be like, okay, let's formulate a plan. And so I was like, okay, first of all, re-explore the second continent. Then once you do that, go back to the first continent and figure it out. And then everything worked nicely from there, but I lost so much time in that runaround.
Yeah, indeed. And it was just, you had to, because when we first saw where you were headed, we're like, okay, he just goes up and around, and there we go. It's like, wait, there's no up and what the heck? Where is this path? Turns out it was, you had to go back east and then down south, and you had to buzz by Cantlin, and it was just a winding path. And some of these things, the Jerk Cave, the Staff of Rain Cave, Breckenary, the coordinates, they were just completely out of the way.
Yeah, I mean, like, of course you see an 83 and immediately think, yeah, they're super far away, but that's still like within the realm of countability. It was really that crazy windy path. Like that little outlet just east of Charlock, I'd completely missed that on my first go around. So, well, I think perhaps what I think happened was I was preemptive. Like I saw Charlock when I was counting coordinates the first time, and I just plunked down a reference point on the other side. And I figured, it has to be on the second continent. And so I didn't take the time and kind of tie everything together and just finish checking where I was in case exactly what happened.
So I do want to ask you a question about the start of the seed. You both found Grimmeldar pretty darn early, and then you went back to the castle and got some gold and got keys right away. Didn't get the hand axe? Did you miss the hand axe the first time around?
Exactly.
Or
exactly.
Okay.
Oh, no galaxy brain strats at play here.
We do have a question from chat. So the first time you entered Charlock, what was your plan? Was your plan to try to do it all in one shot, and then you just got red dragoned and you're like, screw this, I'm going to fight my way down and then come back? Or was that your first dive always just going to be a sword dive? Were you thinking about maybe flame sword strats? What was your thought going into Charlock the first time?
I was thinking, honestly, like 50-50. Like, I knew I had the stats if I got down there. And of course, with agility around like in the 60s, that's never a guarantee. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to try and run away from stuff that's not armored knights and red dragons. And if I see them, I'm going to fight them. And kind of a thing where at least like I was able to get another level or close to another level, right? And you never know if that's going to be a massive level. Well, maybe I could have won with only 8 heal more. So it's kind of like trying to take every possible out that you can. It's like, okay, I want to try and win. I have the stats. But I'm not going to just try and run away from red dragons. I'm going to fight them to get some experience in case things go bad. But I'm going to keep going because maybe I can get the sword. Maybe the level's going to be good enough. And then when it wasn't, I just left and refilled and went at it more seriously.
Well, if you were at all curious, we did actually see Lorgon go to level 17 and then 18. Level 17 actually had a 12 strength point boost, and some HP boost too, which kind of made the Dragon Lord fight absolutely free. At 17, he then chose to grind to 18 and got a nice HP boost. So he was actually making his way through Charlock a little after you were, but he started the Dragon Lord fight. Just to give you an idea of the difference these two levels made. He started the Dragon Lord fight when you were at 50 some damage to the Dragon Lord, and he nearly caught you.
Yeah, no kidding. So my chat was saying he won with the flame sword.
Yeah, he did. He did not pick up Erdrick's.
Yeah, because I mean he had the stats clearly, but chat was trying to figure out, like, I was looking after the seed, of course, and my chat was suggesting, oh, maybe he thought he didn't have Erdrick's sword. But that doesn't seem to make sense. Like, did he happen to miss one of the big caves, like the mountain cave or something like that?
He did not do the final 2 chests of the grave.
Okay. So I can imagine that might have been a play, but so he never died in Charlock once? Or he did maybe earlier on, someone was saying?
I'm trying to recall.
I don't know if he actually died in Charlock. Oh boy, I'm trying to think.
We had divided opinions. Some said yes, some said no, and I was like, huh?
Okay, so
he saw the top floor and he died to a blue dragon early.
There we go.
Okay, so he didn't, like, I'd like to say I saw an above average number of red dragons on my first dive on the first zone, because they were only 1 out of 5 in the first zone, and I'm guessing they were 2 out of 5 or 3 out of 5 in the second zone.
Yeah, there certainly seemed to be a lot more of them in the second zone than in the first. That was that we noticed, absolutely sure. And then, of course, the third zone had those wonderful armored knights.
Well, thank goodness. Like, I almost dropped a brick when I saw they were breathing fire, but thankfully it was just baby fire. That was less than enjoyable when I'm already kind of stressing out.
But yeah, and yet another great finish for a semifinal race, man. 39 seconds apart. That's just crazy. When the first one was 29 seconds apart, and this is
a combined 68 second difference between the 4 runners tonight. This is why this is the semifinals.
Right, and I think if you count my matches against, a best of 3 against Nest Cardinality. Was it in the same tournament or was it in a different one? But I think if you count this race and those 2 against Nest Card, all 3 were probably decided by cumulatively a minute total. Something about this, man.
It is a it is mind-blowing to say the least.
Just absolutely crazy. Well, like aside from the panic, I'm really more or less happy about my play. I mean, I think I need to make sure I get myself in a better mindset going into it, because it sounds obvious when you say it, but when you start like getting nervous and panicking, usually bad things happen. And I'm lucky that I was able to identify that I had been doing that and was able to right the ship. Otherwise, I have no idea what would have happened.
Yeah. Meanwhile, over on Lorgon's side, as we're looking here, I mean, he had declined an interview, but I mean, it was kind of curious to see. I mean, he had gone to 17, gone to 18, and I think everybody was wondering. The only thing we were thinking is maybe that defense was just so low that there was a level of discomfort.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not sure obviously I don't know what the agility gains on those 2 levels are, but even at 16, we were only at 68 agility, and that's just barf.
Yeah, well, at level 18, Lorgon had 77 agility, and it was 72 at 17.
Still nothing to write home about, for sure.
Yeah, it's in the green, but you could basically call it like a lime green, maybe a greenish yellow. I don't know.
Like an unripe orange.
There you
There you go. There you go.
Well, I mean, this is crazy. Are any of you guys coming back for tomorrow commentary, or is that someone else?
I will not be a part of it. I think that
you tomorrow you get the Sparko Nest card combo in the booth.
Them again. Actually, I think we might have requested that. I can't remember. So, yeah, that's just my bad.
But yeah, tomorrow night, 9 p.m. here in RPG Limit Break. So what are your thoughts now going into game 2? Is your strategy going to change any? You're going to be maybe a little more aggressive, maybe a little more conservative, knowing that you have the 1 game lead? Any thoughts, or just play your game and what happens happens?
Honestly, I'll probably just see what the seed, like how I'm playing, because like of course if you miss something super early, like you tend to take more risks, right? So I think that like I definitely have a bit of course leeway in that I can afford to be a bit more aggressive, because if I lose there's always a game 3, but I'm not going to be reckless by any means. But I'll try and I always try and push it to the limit a little bit, so I wouldn't be surprised if that happens.
Farron, do you have any more questions for Mr. Holmes? Or Holmes, do you have any more general comments as to the seed or anything before we get out of here for the evening?
What did you guys have for supper?
I went out. My wife and I went out, and I got a nice full glass of ice water spilled in my crotch, if that helps.
Oh, you probably had that probably influenced your commentary, right? Somehow, maybe, I don't know.
I may have been talking a little in a little higher voice than usual, maybe.
Right. Yeah, I can believe that. All right. Anyway, I had the meal of champions of hot dogs because I was too excited to watch the other race, and man, that was awesome. But other than that, I think I'm golden, and I'll love to see everybody tomorrow.
Yep. I had some chicken parm.
Ooh. Chicken parm, it tastes so good.
Exactly.
Hopefully that reference, like some people will get that reference.
Oh yeah.
No sponsorship by any insurance companies here, though.
No, just Papa John's.
Yep, nor Peyton Manning does not endorse this stream either.
We'll get on it. I know some guys.
Yeah, why not? He
Hey, there
endorses
you go.
darn near anything else.
All right, everybody. Well, it was a stressful pleasure as always. So thanks so much for doing what you guys do.
Indeed. Thank you, and
Absolutely.
thanks to you. Thanks to Lorgon for putting on a great race. Everybody left in chat, if you're not following MisterHomes or not following Lorgon, please make sure to pop a follow. They're fantastic people to watch, regardless of what it is they decide to do. So make sure you pop them a follow. Please, please, please.
All right.
And
Have a
make
good night,
sure-
everyone.
Go right ahead. Make sure to also follow our folks behind the scenes here. Lord of the Synth taking care of the restreaming, Wicked Gamer Dude on the tracking, and for my broadcast partner, Z-Man050778, I'm FearonBurgundy saying until next time, may your moves be excellent and your seeds stay classy. We're now going to take you over to Speed Gaming 2, a Zelda 1 randomizer match between King Doll and Almighty Babino. Should be a goodie. Have a good night, everyone.